Night before season 44, and all through the house, these three idiots, Matt, Dan, and Alex, are going to be doing the final cast assessment for the third tribe. And I've been looking forward to this cast assessment, the final one. I mean, on the eve of Survivor 44, which I haven't looked at a lot of stuff, but today on Instagram I did see that Probst was saying like this season's like really good. There's kind of a lot of hype around it, I think. Now I could just all be smoke and mirrors and just like there was always like hype around every season. This season's great, but I'm hoping that there is something magical. The one thing I did see in the thing where there was a lot of hype was he's like, these players are fun, but he's like, they're funny. Like, so like, I want to see entertaining television, and I don't think we've seen a lot of funny characters lately, right? It's like we've seen a lot of game bots and just super fans of the show, but seeing that personality in hilarious confessionals like a Tyson or a Coach or Johnny Fairplay, I think that's one thing that is missing is just some fun and games. The Tony Vlacho's stupid Spy Shack stuff. Like I feel like we haven't gotten any kind of thing like that recently. Do you feel me?
I feel like the last person that we got who wasn't returning, so take out Winners at War, I feel like the last cast member we got who was like that was Rick Devens. Because Rick Devens had fun with his confessionals, did his whole like news anchor thing.
He was, and you know, Christian Hibeki was funny too. And he wasn't even trying to be fun. Like I think like I laughed at some of that dude's stuff. But yeah, Rick Devens. I mean, who you feeling, Alex?
But like I would say, like you go season after that, on the season that Johnny claims never happened. Nora, who was just like out there being exactly herself, which is this zany, wild, well, like just shoot at the hip, do whatever is at her whim, like whatever she's thinking, and say whatever she's thinking, unfiltered. I feel like we are seeing some of those personalities, especially in this specific tribe that we're going to be assessing tonight. This tribe is definitely the tribe that, because each season now we've had like, this is the tribe that we think is going to dominate. This is a tribe that we think is going to lose. And then this is a tribe that's going to be the personality. This tribe tonight is the one that I think that is juiced up with the personality tribe.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'm excited because I like personality, and I just think that during camp life and stuff, if there's personality and kind of antics going on and sarcasm, I think it just makes for a better viewing experience for the people at home. You know, like Big Tom back in the day was hilarious. Him and, you know, his little stupid little dances and stuff he would do. And so, yeah, I'm happy, especially if you're saying this is the personality tribe. What's the name of this tribe, Dan?
This is the Tika Tribe.
Tika. So we had Roka or Roku, and then something with the S, and then Tika.
You got the Soka.
Yeah.
The Soka tribe. And what's it, Ratu?
Ratu, yeah.
Okay,
there
Ratu.
we go. See, I remember some things.
I think that's one of the things that we're kind of missing, because it dives right into the episode, and so we don't have the intro. And not to push everything back to Australian Survivor, but you see some of it there. But we used to see it all the time in the US, was you'd sometimes get those funny bits of moments around camp before it burst into the intro. And I think that's one of the things that we lose by it comes back as, you know, second one of the episode is they're back after tribal. Like,
yeah, I know.
Well, I'll always, and I'm not going to derail us, but I always will say, Australian Survivor gets the benefit of, at their minimum, being like 50 minutes long, and going up to like an hour and 10 minutes. So give us a 90-minute slot to give us that like 55 to 1 hour of actual footage per episode, minus the finale and the premiere. Obviously, I think we would get some of that more, but we have to work with what we're dealt.
Is the premiere tomorrow night 2 hours?
It is a 2-hour premiere with, as Jeff keeps hyping up, the most medical visits in a Survivor episode in Survivor history, which to me very weird flex to pull heading into an episode. Be like, hey, all these people get hurt. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll go.
And do you think that there's no necessarily medical evacs? It's just medical visits by the medical team.
My hope is it's only medical visits, and there's some like scary moments that causes attention
Yeah,
being
right.
needed. But I would like to believe that they wouldn't be hyping up an episode because someone would go out, because I don't think they did that during the David versus Goliath premiere. Like that was when that happened to Pat on the boat. Like to my recollection, that was like a big shock to everybody. Like it wasn't hyped up. It was like, oh, something big will happen, and if something big that happened was,
Yeah,
pretty much broke his back.
right. Refresh my memory. What happened? I remember Pat because I follow him on Instagram. But what did he get hurt just on the boat ride?
It was on the boat ride back. A bad wave hit the boat,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was in an awkward position, and I forget the specifics, but it was a back injury. He couldn't really move.
Yeah, it sucks. Well, without further ado, let's get into this tribe. I'm pumped.
Same.
All right. Survivor 44 Tika Tribe Cast Assessment.
All right, so here's your group photo, tribe photo. So you kind of see all of them together.
All right.
Interesting buff color there. It's like purplish pink with I guess the blue is part of the logo there. I like it. I like the buff color.
Me too.
A lot more even height in this picture than the last tribe we went through.
Yeah. And
Matt, I mean, off the bat, who are you? Who's like, this person doesn't fit with this group, or I like how they look. Let's get that instant reaction.
My instant reaction is I'm loving the blonde girl in the middle. She's like the, oh my God. I think the girl to the left of her seems to be the most. No. I take that back. The girl in the blue dress seems the most just kind of like, I think the guy on the far right he looks like a badass athletic kind of person. He just looks like, oh shit, like this is really happening. There's Jeff Probst right in front of me. Then the beard guy looks like DJ Khaled, who's he's like, oh dude, he's like a Nasir, like holy shit. Dude on the left with the glasses, I think he's dangerous. He looks young too. So yeah, but my vibe I'm getting the best from is the blonde girl. She looks like Ali Povich from Survivor Karamoan, who we voted out first on my season. But
I think she's gonna be very entertaining from what I've seen of her so far.
Cool.
Yeah. Here we'll start with first. This is Bruce Perrault. He is 46 years old from West Warwick, Rhode Island. He's an insurance agent. The 3 words he uses to describe himself are energetic, funny, and competitive. We're going back to this well again of, person you identify the most or play like the most. He says Jeremy Collins. I would identify the most with him. His sense of family and commitment, and says he'd like to play like Jeremy. And for hobbies, he only has 2 listed. He has golf and boxing.
Okay. Before we move forward, let's call the elephant in the room here. Is Jeremy Collins the new Parvati pick? Like it's like Jeremy the guy version. Like every guy who gets put on to Survivor season, about half of them are gonna say, oh, I want to play just like Jeremy Collins. Just how like for the longest time, so many girls were like, I want to be the next Parvati.
Right. It seems to be that way because, I mean, excuse me, every cast assessment we've done, someone's mentioned Jeremy Collins, but like multiple players. So, although I think Jeremy Collins is a great guy, I feel like the people that name Jeremy Collins as who they most likely to play for are maybe not long-time Survivor fans. Maybe they're a recruit and they've watched some of the more recent seasons of Survivor. So I don't know. But as far as Bruce goes, he seems like he's going to do great in the show. He looks like an athletic, well-built dude. Describes himself as funny, outgoing, whatever, good sense of humor. I think he's going to be fun to be around from a, just hanging around camp. I think he's old enough and wise enough to, um, I don't know. I think 46 is probably up there as far as age of this cast, like in the upper age group, don't you think, Dan? Or
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anyone who's 50 in this cast. I think it's been late 40s has been as high as we've gone, unless there's someone that I'm missing. But I think we're between, there's a few people in the early 20s. Most of them seem to be within that like 25 to 35 range. And then one or two per tribe that's in their 40s.
I'm just hoping that his age doesn't, I hope he doesn't come across too old acting. I mean, I'm 48, but I act like I'm like 19. So who knows? But I feel like an insurance agent is probably more serious business like demeanor. Hopefully his age doesn't hinder him with the younger crew. But I mean, I think the dude's going to make merge. I think he's going to be a good team member, or not team member, but just in the challenges. I think he's going to be the kind of guy that's like, okay, look, you do this, kind of like with his age, be like more of like a leader of this tribe.
I see him as like a level-headed guy. He's actually one of the few people I have listened to an interview.
Yeah,
just him giving more of his background.
right.
Very fascinating background. He was abandoned as like a 2 or 3 year old, was in the foster care program. So like that, I'm sure that will be brought up during the show as like that sympathetic point.
Yeah,
And he's the first one where it really took me back, because we haven't really talked about, like, this cast did get to see all of 41 and all of 42.
okay.
And it sounds like for him, when it comes to like the advantages and stuff like that, he's more like if it's around while I'm like going out and getting wood and stuff like that, like I'll see if I want it. But he seems to be more doesn't want to be involved with the advantages. He's very much hyping up the social interactions between himself and his fellow castaways, as like that's how I'll survive in this game. It's not going to be by a trinket. It's not going to be like just through prayer. It's going to be through how are my relationships with the rest of the people around me. So I think that's what his biggest priority will be. He gives me dad energy. Just like based off the picture, based off his vibe, he gives me dad energy. My only fear would be if he gets onto the beach and he's the one like dictating how to like what's the best way to get the shelter made and everything, and like if he rubs someone the wrong way on this cast or on this tribe, that I think is going to be a lot of different personalities that could put him in a bad position.
Yeah.
That would be the only way that I see him going out early. If that doesn't happen, I could also easily see him make merge.
Right on.
Yeah, being an insurance agent, I wish I had a follow-up question be here, because I'm sure both of you have run into it, but some insurance agents, they really know what they're doing. They work well with people, and they're very sociable. Others annoy the hell out of you and don't stop calling you nonstop. And so I hope he's more like the first one and not the second. But I think I feel pretty good about Bruce, and especially going off of what you said, Alex, of he's more there for the social interactions. That may be one of the benefits in this new school era, is simply that the super fans, they can't help themselves. They want to go get the idols, but everyone always knows where the advantages are in the game, because it's either they can't keep their mouth shut, or just how you're getting some of these clues or advantages now. It's made so that everyone's going to know. I mean, think of the idols the past few seasons. It's become pretty evident once you get to merge who has them, because you compare notes with the other tribe.
Yeah.
So I think I think he's going to make the merge. I don't have end game aspirations for him, but I think that if he can find the right group of people, he'd be that solid number that's going to kind of be like your loyal rock.
Yeah.
Could you pull up Catherine Allen's comment here? about
give me a
Roxroy.
second.
He is not. He is not. Roxroy came and he was like, to hell with social interaction. I'm here to build a shelter. Really, all the survival aspects of the game was more Roxroy's passion. Bruce, I think it's the polar opposite here, where he's the older dad in the group, but I think he's there to really build bonds, build relationships. So I don't see that being a hindrance to his game.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Roxroy comparison, I think Roxroy had more of just like a chip on his shoulder attitude, kind of not rub people the wrong way kind of thing. I think Bruce can be a more friendlier guy.
You know what? Roxroy may merge. So
he did. Yeah. Right on. Well, good luck, Bruce. And you have the name of my father-in-law, Bruce. So you got my
and
vote
also
right
one of the best rock legends in the game.
Bruce Spring. There you go.
Sweet rock garden. All right. Next up, let's see. This is the first one that caught Matt's attention. This is Carolyn. She's 35 years old, lives in Hugo, Minnesota. She is a drug counselor. 3 words she uses to describe herself are passionate, a little bit loud, and open. Player that she wants to play the most like. Ooh, this one's interesting. It's a long one, so bear with me. She says, I so badly want to be strategic like Kelly Wentworth and cutthroat like Parvati, but that isn't happening because I'm way more of a Nora. My entire life, I've been told that I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too loud, too much. It's been my dream to play this game as myself, and Marianne is proof that it can be done. I want to have fun like Tiffany, be lovable like Marianne, and free-spirited and spontaneous like Nora. And then she says her hobbies are gardening, ice skating, and rescuing bunnies.
Well, so
okay, I love her.
Here's the deal. She looks like Pam Anderson coming out of Baywatch with that red swimsuit, the blonde hair, full sleeve of tattoo. She also got another tattoo on her leg, like her thigh and her ankle. Here's my fear of her. I think she can be super fun. I hope it's not to the extent of annoying, where people are like, God, would you just shut up? Like annoying, like a Reem, where Reem goes out first because they're like, dude. And I love Reem. Like Reem, we met, Johnny and I did at Hearts Reality a few years back. She was super fun, super cool. But sometimes you got to tone it down. If everyone's like sleep deprived and starved, and Carolyn's like running around and talking about her bunnies she rescues, I can see that being an issue. But so far, just like off that group photo we saw when we started the podcast, I think she's going to be super fun. Please don't be annoying. But I think you're going to bring a lot of entertainment value, Carolyn, to the show. I hope you go far.
So I love her. I love this energy. I would say she might skew more towards the Noras and the Mariannes, where she could be annoying at times, but I think hopefully she's in a tribe that will appreciate that energy that she's giving out, because I think that's really her. She seems like that type of energy person. Like, I'll connect with the people who bring it back to me. I know because Twitter went wild about it, she has played online reality games. So it's not like she hasn't played games of this element before, but obviously behind a screen.
Yeah.
She does. She just screams Marianne to me. She's like, and my concern is a lot of times when people go out on the island, the most recent season that they have watched is what's in the back of their mind. Does her being this unapologetic, I'm me, I embrace who I am, I'm very self-aware of who I am, and I'm going to roll with it, does that threaten people where they're like, we just saw Marianne win and she's this personality, we have to take her out? But I would like to believe that her and Bruce will be like a dynamic duo on that tribe. The yin and yang energy of like Bruce's calmness that he seems to have with Carolyn's like erraticism, and I mean that in the most positive way. That would be such a fun odd couple to root for going into the merge. So I'm gonna say she goes to the merge, but that's because we also said that one other tribe's gonna be not great.
Now, did I hear something that she's a drug counselor? Is she a former addict?
She is. Yes, she is a former addict. And so she's a very big on therapy and figuring out what's the best thing for you to be able to accept who you are and move forward. I thought that was she had this very deep conversation about it on an interview where like addicts feel like there's a hole in themselves that they have to fill up using whatever it is that they're addicted to. And she's overcome it. And by being able to embrace who she is, she sort of has filled that up. I'm hoping that's like the energy that she can give out, because if that's the energy she's giving out to her tribe, I think that puts her in a good spot, at least to start out the game.
Right on.
Yeah. So I think from this point, she's given the best answer that we've had in just saying that, oh, she would like to come in and play like a Wentworth or a Parvati, but she realizes that isn't her. Because I think so many times people come in with this big personality, but they don't have self-awareness. And it seems like she clearly does. And I think that's huge. And other, people come in with, oh, I want to play like so-and-so. And I think we see it from more of like the super fans, the game bots, is that they almost try to play a character.
Yep.
And you can read right through that a lot of times. And her just coming in, embracing who she is, owning it and saying, this is me. While yes, she could be loud, that would cause some issues. I think overall people are going to see her as a lovable and genuine person. And I think more times than not, that person's going to do very well in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm high on that. The fact that she also is, a counselor, so she knows how to relate to a lot of people. I'm sure she's gone through, as you were kind of mentioning, some of the things she's gone through in her life, that she has a lot of life experience to relate to pretty much everyone that's out there. Mm-hmm. So I'm high on Carolyn. I think she has a big upside.
I think that self-awareness is so key. Like, if we look through the past three winners of the modern era, I think all three winners, the one thing that they all have in common, despite having different paths to the end, is that they came in very much comfortable in their own skin, knowing who they are, and knowing that if they were able to get to the end, they would be able to explain, like, this is how you guys perceive me. I know because I know how I believe I'm perceived, and then this is what I've done. So if she can get to the end, I can see her having that same like trek.
Here's the last question: is Johnny Fairplay if he was in here right now, would he be like, I love her?
I think he would love the answer that she didn't just say like, oh, I'm trying to be this person.
Yeah.
I think that answer, I feel like he would like, or at least respect.
Yeah, I think he would just be like, oh, she's hot. She's got my
I was going to say, between the answer and her being hot, I think Johnny's all in.
He is. Johnny be all in.
He's like, how do I get a live viewing show in Minnesota?
Well, she looks cool.
All right. So next up, I only heard about, prior to doing these, I've only heard of two people, like just from Twitter, Instagram, all like that. And next one, they both come from this tribe, and one of them is next up. This is Carson. Matt, if you remember a few weeks ago in the Q&A, someone asked you a question about Carson because he started trying to sell his own shirts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's this guy. So This is Carson. He is 20. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and he is a NASA engineering student. The three words he uses to describe himself are multifaceted, exuberant, and innovative. As far as who he would play like, he said, I identify the most with Christian Hibiki. Christian embraced his quirks and nerdiness to disarm his opponents into wanting to work with him. He used his charm and intelligence as a weapon, and despite being labeled as the weakest male on the David tribe initially, he became one of the biggest threats after the merge. I intend to model my game after him, but focus more on diminishing my threat level out to the end game. It says, unlike Christian, I do not plan to reveal that I have an engineering background and wants to play like he's the Mr. Nice Guy. And then for hobbies, he has 3D printing, Catan, photography, Minecraft, strategic board games, space engineering, YouTube videos, and Civilization V or 5. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's Roman numeral.
Okay. This guy thinks he is the world's smartest person, I think. I don't want anyone to know I'm an engineering student. Who cares? What does engineering have to do with playing a game of Survivor, really?
Oh, he's smart.
I don't think that plays. If it's like I am like on my season of Survivor Caramel and Sherry Beethman said, I need to make this money to help pay for my daughter's college or whatever. Little did we know she owned like 1 million restaurant franchises and was like an uber millionaire, right? You want to keep it secret if you are a millionaire, if you're rich, you don't need the money, etc. This guy, his hobbies drive me crazy. The Catan, all the role playing stuff. He's Captain Nerd, and there's been a nerd on every tribe. So I do like the Christian Hibiki reference because I liked Christian, but Christian didn't win the game. That's why Johnny's sometimes will always say like, yeah, you want to play like that person, but they didn't win. So why would why would you want to play like somebody that hasn't won the game? 20 years old, you're young, but because you are smart and you're engineering student for NASA, I feel like you're going to be super cocky. And even though you're going to try to tone back your quirkiness and all that stuff, I think you're not going to be able to help it, Carson, but to tell people how smart you are. I just feel like maybe his brainiac kind of attitude is going to kick him in the butt. I think people might be annoyed by him. Hopefully I'm wrong. Like I said, we're just going off all this stuff, but all the role-playing stuff, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is this guy, do you think, a super fan of the show?
Well, he started watching during Millennials versus Gen X, which is also around the same time that I started watching this.
Okay.
And so I'm sure he's gone back, watched past seasons, stuff like that. His hobbies I don't mind. I do some of that stuff.
I know it's because you're a nerd too. So you guys,
I'm a nerd, but I'm a nerd. But I also I go to the gym. I play
know.
Sports. It's like there's other stuff you can do. But the thing that keeps biting at me is the hiding bits of yourself, because I think a big issue early on is hiding that, because that's the most prevalent thing in his life right now. As just like being a student, the stuff you're doing as a student is like your life.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just general studies right now. I don't know what exactly I'm going for. Maybe I'll go into teaching. Like, you don't have stuff to pull from, especially when you're younger. You don't have as much life experience to really make those stories.
Yeah.
Make those stories, make those connections. Like, it's one thing with Sammy last season be like, oh, I'm 22 when he was 19 or whatever. But I feel like that's a detriment. I think what makes Christian, and you can't be Christian unless you go fully into being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that it's not that, oh, Christian's a nerd. It was Christian didn't care to hide anything about himself. He's like, I want people to work with me and want to be around me because of me, not because of a role I portray. So I'm hoping my concern is he's trying to fit a role, and even if he's trying to diminish that, he's still going to be in that role. So now it's going to be, can he make those connections? I think he's very energetic. I think he's very up for the challenge. I'm just not sure where he fits on this tribe.
And how old was Christian? Wasn't Christian like 30?
Yeah, Christian was a PhD teacher.
So that's the main difference that as you're talking about this and hearing about this Christian thing, the difference between you and Christian is Christian has 10 years life experience on Carson. So he is really comfortable in his own skin. And, but yeah, just the hiding that he's an engineering student kind of, that's really what set off my, I don't know about this guy.
I completely agree with both of you on that. I think if there's something that's fundamentally a huge part of your life, like him being this engineering student is, you have to own that and embrace that and take that into the game.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing with him being an engineering student, I apologize. Maybe I'm just jaded because of the week I'm having at work, but I deal with a lot of engineers that I work with. A lot of them, they think they're the smartest person in the room and they won't take any type of criticism or feedback, and it drives me nuts. And it goes back to the self-awareness of being open that, yes, Carson, you're this NASA engineering student, so maybe a lot of the times you are one of the smartest people in the room, but when it comes out to this island with these people from all over the country, you're not. You're just not. And I don't know, there's too many things here that give me red flags. I'm saying pre-merge.
Yeah. I'm with you. But Carson, welcome to the Survivor family.
Hey, and I hope we're wrong.
You're lovely.
I do too.
It's funny because we have to make these predictions on like who we think is gonna make the merge, who could win, who could do poorly. But like ultimately, we want to see everyone do well. But hey, it's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Prove us wrong, Carson. Sell those shirts.
I forgot about that. That's the other thing that is like the fact that you're so smart engineering student that you literally started selling merch with Survivor slogans, I believe it was, before, months before the show even starts. Like that's a dumbass move. So, I mean, I sold shirts, but I wasn't even advertising like some website and I wasn't even trying to make money on it. It was just like, hey, everyone can wear a shirt and be a part of Team Beard. And that's all it was. And when I would sell shirts, I'd print more for the next week and it just funded itself. It was not a Matt money-making scheme. Where Carson, I think, I don't know.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm going to be the opposite of everyone else on the internet who was like roasting him. Do you, man? If you want to sell shirts, sell shirts. Make what's his last name? Garrett?
Yes.
Yeah. CarsonGarrett.com and sell t-shirts. Say you're the ultimate supervillain to really get some traction with the Survivor audience. Like, do it. Go full in. Enjoy your time doing it. If people don't like it, they don't have to buy it. If people like it, they can buy it.
The thing that is though, like he was using like, what are you using like Survivor like catchphrases though in his merch?
I have no clue.
I think that's what the problem was. Like, if he just made like, I think he just made the mistake of like putting the tribe has spoken, Carson Garrett. And it's just like, man, you got to be a little smarter than that. I mean, there's a reason we signed like a 10 million page document with CBS before we play the game that allow, you're signing your life away. But yeah, prove us wrong, Carson. Maybe you're the winner.
I think the fact that he's selling t-shirts either means that we're all very right or we are very wrong. It's one of the two.
Or it's just his personality.
Could just be his personality.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Carson. Charlotte is not a far drive from Atlanta. You can make it up in 3 hours to make it to Johnny's finale viewing party.
There you go.
All right. Next up, we have Helen. This is Helen Lee. She is 29 years old. She's originally from Massachusetts, but she lives in San Francisco, California. She is a product manager. The 3 words she uses to describe himself are empathetic, optimistic, and self-aware. You have me there. Who she identifies the most? She identifies with Erica from 41 because we're both small Asian women who can be underestimated. Play like a mix of Tina Weston from season 2 because she was well liked and underestimated because of it, and Sophie Clark from South Pacific for her strategic prowess. And for hobbies, she has travel, downhill skiing, board games, puzzles, and hiking.
Well, those puzzles will come in handy for those challenges where you go over something and under something and finish with a puzzle.
That's right. I like the fact that she made a Sophie and another older
Tina
Wesson. I love
Oh.
Tina Wesson. I love that. The Erica reference. I know why she's doing that. She feels like she has something in common. I just I don't get a very strong strategic game player vibe from Helen. I'm just kind of I like the fact that she's a skier and hikes and stuff like that. So I think she'll be fine out in the elements and stuff like that. I just don't see her as being some really big character. I feel like so far the guy we just Carson and Bruce and our
Carolyn.
Baywatch babe, I think they're more going to be kind of forming an alliance right off the bat. I just think Helen might be the odd person out on this tribe.
Very well could be. Very well could be. I could see it. But I know some people also view her very highly because of like the archetype that she has. And she does have that like Erica, Tina Wesson, maybe not a Sophie archetype, but like that her biggest ability is her ability to connect with people and form relationships, and that's how those bonds are what will help carry you throughout the game. Like I'm someone who's not as down on the Erica win as other people are on the internet, because it's not her fault that Survivor decided we're not going to show you the winner's story, and they decided to highlight people who got taken out mid jury, and then you're suddenly like, well, who are these other people that are at the end plus Ricard? And so I blame production more than what we can blame Erica for, because to all sense and purposes, that means Erica played this like very straightforward, really good game, no adversity, gets to the end and wins because she made good connections along the way and made the right strategic choices. If Helen can do that, hey, she can have people hate her while she's counting $1 million in her bank account. She seems active. So I like the downhill skiing. She seems intelligent with like playing board games, has puzzles.
Yeah.
If this tribe can avoid going to tribal council often, she could, I think, be integrated well within her tribe moving forward. This tribe, though, is just a big question mark to me on will they do well or will they do extremely poorly?
Yeah. Right. So far, I'm not getting a extreme. I'm getting an extremely poorly kind of vibe.
Yeah, you're not getting challenge beast.
No, I'm not.
Carson challenge beast. Just wait for it. From these people, I mean, one of the things that I would get is, because it always does come down to the puzzle, is they seem like they have a lot of potentially good puzzle makers. So
yeah,
that could be something. I think I'm a little higher on Helen than you two are. Not that, no, I think she's going to win. I already made that prediction, but I think she's going to do pretty well. I think for her, just based off of looks, I think it's going to be if she can have that in with like a Carolyn. I think if she can get in with other people, I think she's going to do pretty well. I always love it, like you said, Matt, when you get kind of that old school, who are you going to play like the Tina Wesson call out? I think that's phenomenal. So maybe I'm weighing my decision a little bit more on that, but I'm saying she makes the merge.
Well, you know what? I will make my prediction then, because I said on the last podcast that in all of the first 3 seasons of the new era, we have a girl go out on the Earn the Merge, and we have a girl go out and become the first member of the jury. I already made a prediction on who would be the first member of the jury. So, Helen, I'm sorry. My prediction for you is you are the unfortunate soul that goes out on the Earn the Merge challenge.
And you're probably totally wrong, Alex.
I hope I want to hope all my predictions, except for who I want to root for as the winner, is wrong.
Yeah. But
take that for what you will, for all of you that I know are listening to these podcasts.
Right on.
All right. Next up, we have Sarah Wade. Unfortunately, no connection to Coach Wade, which is disappointing. If you can give me 2 seasons of Brandon Hance, I feel like we should have someone in Coach's family.
Oh,
but
yes.
Sarah Wade, she is 27, Chicago, Illinois. She is a management consultant. She describes herself as strategic, driven, and fun. She identifies the most with Natalie. I'm assuming it's Natalie Anderson. She is competitive, direct, and pretty loyal. However, she was willing to make moves against her alliance when the timing was right. And for hobbies, she has doing anything outdoors, biking, working out, playing beach volleyball, reading, eating raw food, and drinking sweet drinks.
That's a hobby, drinking sweet drinks. That's an interesting hobby.
Are we sure it isn't a loose connection to Coach?
Yeah, I want that hobby.
Dude, I do too. Sarah, I think you're very your appearance. I like your dress. That's pretty unique. I think you're gonna be super fun. Saying that you're strategic, I think you're very smart. 27 is a great age to play Survivor. I think that you're going to be someone who, if I was out there, I would immediately be drawn to you. You say you're super outgoing. I like your hobbies. I just think you're going to be a good all-around player, social player. You mentioned that you're strategic as part of your describing yourself. Natalie Anderson. Again, we've heard a lot of Jeremy Collins references. We've also heard a lot of Natalie Anderson.
Yep.
And I like Natalie Anderson. So, Sarah, I'm a fan. I think you're going to go deep into this game. Catherine Allen, this is my fantasy pick. Love her. So, yeah, kill it, Sarah. I think you got a good game in you, and I like you on this tribe. When I'm picturing that first picture, now I feel that you're going to be getting along with everybody.
Yeah, and thank you for the super chat, Catherine Allen. Okay, Sarah, I'm digging. Well, one, she's my age, so love that. I think people my age are good for Survivor. But jokes aside, there, she's fit, she's intelligent. She gives me somewhat just like physique wise, Noelle vibes. Just with two working legs. I think that's like also potentially her placement. Like I think she makes merge. I think she could go out in that like 8 to 6 spot because like she'll win an immunity challenge early, and then people start saying like, "Oh, Sarah's a threat to get to the end. We can't have her get to Final Four where she could make fire." So that she gets cut mid jury. But I'm vibing with her. I'm vibing with this pick. I'm feeling good energy from her.
Yeah, I like her.
No, I agree. This one I'm not gonna zag on. I think the last one I might. But no, I think Sarah, she seems to have a good head on her shoulders. Everything that she's saying from hobbies, and if she can play like a Natalie Anderson, I mean, she doesn't maybe look as big as Natalie Anderson, but she looks in relatively good shape. She looks like someone that would get along with a lot of people on the tribe. And so I have a good feeling about Sarah. I think she's going to do well. Make Coach proud.
Yeah.
Do it for Coach, Sarah. What would Coach do? Actually, no, don't do that. He'll create a cult.
Oh, Coach.
And hug you on the way out and piss you off. Let's see.
Do we have one more person?
We have one more person. The last person.
Oh my! Here we go.
Survivor 44.
And I said there were two people that I'd heard about prior to going into cast assessments. One was Carson, and the last one is our final contestant.
Jam.
DJ Khaled.
So, Matt, to be clear, despite them being wise, it's pronounced Jam.
It is not Yam Yam. It's Jam.
Jam.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Jam. He is 36. He's from San Juan, Puerto Rico. He is a salon owner. The 3 words he uses to describe himself are fun, loud, and caring. Let's see. who he wants to play like. He says Cerie Fields. She's lovable, caring, and fun. She is super intelligent and a strategic genius. I hope to emulate her and win. And then for hobbies, lots of people and their plants on this season. Taking care of my plants, going to the beach with my husband, hanging out with my girlfriends, and traveling.
Well, they better not let Jam Jam and Matthew connect. Salon and barbershop, so they'll have the hair alliance. The final two that we all wanted.
So here's the thing. That reminds me, my winner pick is Matthew from the first tribe with the beard. The bearded barber is my winner pick. Just throwing it out there. Because I was like, I haven't stated it and I haven't really seen anybody on, last night or whenever we did the second tribe and this tribe as a winner. But as I'm thinking back, I'm going Matthew.
Good and he was like the second or third person that we talked about. So that would have been pretty early on to be like winner pick.
Oh, I would have done it. I would have done it. Matt, is it because he shares your name and also looks like you?
And from Ohio.
And is from Ohio.
Yeah, yes. There's multiple reasons. And so Jam Jam, yes, he's a salon owner. He's got a shirt with cats on it. He looks like he's going to be a very big personality. He had that big smile on the group cast photo at the very beginning of this podcast. Big smile now. Another bearded, person. I feel like as long as Jam Jam isn't like totally over the top annoying to his tribe, I think he could be just fun to have around. But I don't know. I mean, Dan, you're kind of like getting me a little bit nervous with like, I know you're going to roast him.
I'm not going to roast him.
I'm going to let you go next then, Dan.
But no. It's not roasting him. It's simply, I've heard so much about him. He's probably the person I've heard the most. And I've seen, and I don't look into it too much, posts on Facebook, Instagram. I usually just scroll by, but maybe it's just the name that it stuck out more because it's unique.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen a lot of people speak very highly of him and have him as a potential winner pick.
Wow.
And my sole reason is he seems very nice. He seems like he would be a ton of fun, great person. Mine's just, if that many people are all into you, it's more that betting background is fade the public. So I'm saying pre-merge, and I hope I'm wrong. It's the same idiotic reasons that, I'm saying pre-merge that I picked Heidi to be my winner. So I'm probably completely off on this one, but I'm going to say pre-merge.
He's gonna have a big personality, and I think him and our Baywatch chick are gonna be fun. I think this tribe is gonna be a total
train wreck.
Yes, I do. The dynamics of this tribe, I think it's gonna be like the wackiest of the three tribes as far as personalities go. But yeah, if once merge happens and Yam Yam is in a tribe with Matthew and different people, I think we could have a really fun post-merge game of Survivor. And when Jeff Probst said that there's a lot of funny people on this season, I think Jam Jam could fall into that funny category. So I'm excited to see Jam Jam play. And I do want to mention the other thing I saw was obviously with the new format of casting, you have 50% people of color, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And this season, there are 6 gay people.
Yep.
The most amount of gay people that have been on a single season of Survivor, which is fascinating because, typically Michael Snow, my number one partner in crime on my season, was, I think, the only gay person on Survivor Caramoan. So it is cool that casting is more inclusive for many reasons and all kinds of stuff. And I was thinking about this because like 33% of the cat, whatever, there's 18 people. That's a high percentage of gay people.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's just like they like these people, then find out they're gay, or do you think casting is specifically going to include more gay people? Because I would like to think that sexuality and stuff like that shouldn't even necessarily matter one way or the other. Like, I think it's super rad, but I think like with this cast, to me, when I'm visually looking at people, I don't know. I mean, I know he has a husband. I think Matthew, but I don't know who else is the other, because I haven't like watched a lot of bios, who the other gay contestants are, which is cool because I don't care one way or the other. And I feel that Survivor is putting people that are going to make great television and play a great game of Survivor and give us a great season of Survivor. So I'm stoked on 44.
Yeah. My hope with that is, I think it was Davey who spoke about this a lot, kind of when all these changes were happening, that for him, it was harder to get some of these communities or audiences into the show because, you know, they'd watch the show and they didn't see anybody that they could relate with. So that's my hope, that maybe the last 3 seasons haven't been what we would consider, you know, top tier seasons, is that it's getting all these people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, sexual orientations, races, everything like that. And so it's out there more. So it's inspiring these people. And so that's my hope, is that they're saying, oh, Survivor, it isn't just like old white people show. And so they start to get into it, and it's inspiring, people like Yam Yam and everyone else on this cast to apply for it and become more into it. And it's going to lead to more of this diversity and, people from all walks of life.
Yeah, I agree, because honestly, you have to have a newer audience of people coming to watch Survivor, because Johnny always laughs about the demo. He said it before, like the demo is like 50-something-year-old white women is the main demo for Survivor, right? So, but I think that is changing. I think some people are like, the people that are like, Survivor is still on. I think those younger people that are watching, excuse me, like the Challenge and Big Brother, are going to come back around to Survivor and regenerate just kind of a new audience of younger people watching the show that think it's cool. Because when it's so stale and you have the same type of people on the show, because we're already seeing it in Fiji every damn time, seeing these different walks of life and these different types of people, I think it's a great thing. I'm tired of we went through an era of actors and how many, I'm going on this show just to further my career and modeling and stuff like that. Now, there are some attractive people on this season of Survivor, but it's more of that diverse, everyday people that you can relate to. This is a bigger guy. Like, it proves that I can get off the couch and play this game. Like, I don't need to be a Jonathan to go out there and play Survivor. And that's what we want, because as Johnny said, challenges and stuff do not matter in Survivor. It's it maybe once upon a time did, and it helps you in the early part of the game to not have to go to tribal. But yeah, I mean, this is
right.
It's a new era.
Right. And let's be real here. It's like, if you are coming to Survivor and the only reason you watch Survivor is like, oh, I want to watch these epic challenges, go watch Australian Survivor. Australian Survivor is the perfect show for you if you want like challenges that are like 10, 15 minutes long, brutal on everybody and all that nonsense. That's perfect. This show in its current form of US Survivor, I could care less about the challenges. I know it's the gimmick that Johnny gave me, that I give all the, this is how you do this challenge, this is how you do this challenge, blah, 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 blah. I could care less. Like, it's all about what you're doing on the island. Like, ultimately, these challenges are just who can put a necklace on themselves to ensure that they can go 100% to the next round.
Yeah.
This is and for my assessment of Jam Jam, because I didn't do it, character who knows he's a character. I think that's going to work in his favor. as for all the online hype, the only thing that concerns me is sort of going with Dan here is last season, Mariah, who was the first boot of 43, had a lot of hype, probably the most picked person in the online community fandom of who was going to win the game. I think this is a different tribe, obviously different people, but I think different personalities than the tribe that Mariah was on.
Yeah.
I think potentially that could help him on this tribe where there's personalities. As long as his big personality doesn't clash with the other ones, I can see the bigger personalities potentially linking up. And it's like, hey, we're here to have a fun time. Let's get rid of the people that are being super serious or super boring. And then you get to the merge. And if Jeff is hyping up that this is such like a fun season, a funny season, I'd be hard pressed to feel like Jam Jam's only here for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, he's here for a while. I think Jam Jam's gonna be pretty damn funny.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
Like my overall view on this season, and this is no shade to the players, I would love for this season to be high character, bad, messy gameplay. Like that, I think that's the perfect storm for a very entertaining season. Because let's be real, amazing gameplay can be very boring to watch.
Yeah,
It's like Boston Rob, amazing gameplay, was given 19 dummies and Russell Hantz to play with or whatever. It's like it was very boring to watch. Like if we could have a fun winner, like a 42 was a fun season, like, and it caps off with a character winning in the end in a Marianne. I wouldn't mind seeing that again here.
Yeah, no doubt.
The other thing that tells me that I'm probably wrong is that maybe we're wrong and Jam Jam is the winner, because if Jeff is talking it up, he loves his big guys. And so maybe it's someone like Jam Jam that he's this big personality and he wins. That seems like
I didn't even think about that.
That Jam Jam would be, that Jeff would be like, this is the best season ever.
Yeah. Well, Jam Jam, you rule. I think this is going to be, it seems like a lot of people are excited about this season, especially after, I'm ready to get Gabler out of my brain and ready to focus on some new people. So, yeah, I mean, this tribe, just the whole deal. I'm ready for it. Every week, everyone. I mean, the weeks that Johnny is out doing his live viewing parties, you can catch Alex and Dan or some combination of us directly after the episode to break down that episode. And then Johnny and Wayne most likely will go back and do a second podcast. So you get Johnny's hot takes on the episode. And then, right now, if you're anywhere in the New York City area, Johnny Fairplay and the Queen are doing a New York City premiere, and SurvivorTix.com, SurvivorTix.com, and then all of the other information and tickets are on the SurvivorTix.com for the upcoming.
Here, I can run it off for you, Matt, if you want.
Perfect.
It's March 1st. They're going to be in New York. Like I said, that's tomorrow night. And if you've seen Johnny, follow him on social media. A ton of great guests are going to be at that show. Next show he's going to have is March 15th in Nashville, Tennessee. And then on March 22nd with Matt and Wayne, we'll be in Cincinnati, Ohio. March 29th is in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's see. May 3rd, Durham, North Carolina. May 17th is in Charlottesville, Virginia. And for the finale, my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. All the tickets are available at SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com. You can join Johnny and the Queen, Sandra Diaz-Twine. They will be at all of these live events, as well as plenty of special guests and castaways as well.
That's 7 opportunities to see Johnny and the Queen, Sandra Diaz-Twine, during this season. And we love, and obviously the podcast will be here if you go to a live party or not. If you are in the area or you've never experienced one, I highly recommend that you do it. Johnny makes these parties very intimate, very personal. everyone that has ever attended one has always left with a very positive experience. So go to survivortix.com right now, get your tickets, enjoy an amazing viewing experience.
And if you like what you're seeing on this podcast, we have a Patreon group. It's a secret Facebook group, and it's an awesome community. And we do special Q&A podcasts. We watch Australian Survivor older seasons, Johnny and I do, and break it down. It's just a fun community to be in. And if Dan, you can rattle off how people can find out about becoming a patron.
Yeah, you can become a patron at realitypatron.com. As Matt said, that gets you access to the secret Facebook group, Matt and Johnny's Q&As, as well as they go back through old seasons of Australian Survivor and do a podcast a week, just like they normally would, as if it was a current season. And then if you're watching the current season of Australian Survivor, that also gets you links to every episode that we send out the morning after it airs. And speaking of Australian Survivor, obviously make sure to tune in tomorrow and watch the premiere of season 44. But then Alex and myself and potentially a few others will be back Thursday night to discuss this week of Australian Survivor.
Well,
it does not miss. We are 5 weeks into this, and it's still punching hard. Probably, and Matt, I'm not hyping this up, one of the best merge episodes a Survivor franchise has ever had.
Well, I've been hearing, like Wayne said, dude, I watched all Survivors, South Africa's, Australia, whatever. This is the best. This is the best season of any Survivor ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
No shade to you, Matt. I hate the format of fans versus favorites. Never enjoyed those seasons despite them having produced good winners.
Yeah.
This season has gotten me to look past it. The returnees were the right grouping of returnees to pull in, to have their second chances, some third chances, and really help raise this season up. The newbie players that do make it through the season have really made a case for themselves of why they were cast. It's been high level entertainment, great gameplay, emotional stakes. Like, I left episode 13 with their boot nearly in tears.
Wow.
Like, it's and I don't cry during Survivor. That's Johnny's gimmick. That ain't mine. And this has been pulling the emotional heartstrings out of me. So I highly recommend watching it. There's tons of links. If you become a patron, we provide links for you to go watch these episodes. And then over on our free side here, you'll get to watch our coverage every week. I highly recommend it.
Well, there you go. And we will see you all tomorrow night directly after the premiere of Survivor 44. And stay with us for the ride. It's going to be a great one. Alex, Dan, thank you so much. We're going to get a word from our sponsor, Manscaped, and we will see you tomorrow.
Support for Reality After Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 12 million balls.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave.
Now, I have a dark shower curtain in my bathroom, and I've been looking for the perfect way to shave in the dark, kinda. Guess what? I found it! 4000K LED! No longer a problem. I got perfectly smooth, clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SURVIVOR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. And don't forget, for more exclusive Reality After Show coverage, visit realitypatron.com. That's reality, Patron.com.